Hey, Women for the Culture, it's Camille Davis, Montage PR here, and today I'm back for another special edition of Meet the Media Monday. Well, or Meet the Media, since it isn't technically Monday, but we're doing a special Women for the Culture Meet the Media edition. So if you're not familiar, please follow my platform at Meet the Media right here on Instagram, and you'll get a lot of behind the scenes with producers, showrunners, editors, the people who are behind the brand, behind the scenes, making the news, people who we may not see in everyday life, but they're the ones that are making it happen, the gatekeepers, the watchdogs. We're going to give you guys inspiration. If you're an aspiring journalist, if you're a publicist in the industry, we're going to tell you how to get your clients in the door, how to get press for yourselves, etc. So definitely stick with us, and I wanted to come over to Women for the Culture kind of just to show you guys what it is that we do. So tonight I have a guest, Zayna Allen. She's going to be coming through to tell you guys about what she does, the work that she's doing over at Bold TV, her background in the industry, and also to give you guys some advice. So I encourage you guys to leave any questions that you have below. Before we get started, I want to shout out Saved. You can find them on Instagram, saved_women. So hi P Daniel, and I want to say thank you for sending me my shirt. And again, you guys follow saved_women on Instagram. You know, I'm all about supporting black owned businesses, women owned businesses, small owned businesses, particularly in this time. So I'm going to leave saved_women in the comment section and pin it to the top, just in case any of you guys are interested in getting some Saved Women apparel. So I see that our guest is here. I'm going to invite her over while I'm putting Save Women in the comments. I also want to encourage you guys to head on over to womenfortheculture.com/shop if you're interested in that unisex tee that I had on yesterday in my live. So, Zayna. And let's get started while I'm putting saved_women. Hey there.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Please excuse me. I'm putting
It's okay.
in the comments where I got my shirt from. I'm always trying to, support small business owners as much as I can. So I'm going to pin this to the top. Thanks for joining us.
No, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I like to kind of start off to see how you guys are doing. Let's check in. Like, is quarantine? Are you going crazy over there? How are you
Uh,
feeling today?
Um, you know what? This quarantine thing has been treating me very well. I can say that. So I think I feel great. I know a lot of people, they don't feel the same. There's a lot going on for everybody, but I definitely see the positive in all of this. So I feel great. I'm not losing my head yet. Who knows how long we're going to be. So I'm in New Jersey, so we kind of have an indefinite stay at home situation. So I don't know how long we're going to be here, but so I'm good for now.
Yeah, well, that kind of segues right into what you're doing on a daily basis, your work. How are you managing in that, working from home, social distancing? How has that affected your day to day?
I think, being at home, it makes it a little bit more complicated a little bit because it's hard to get out of bed, and people always say like, you should get out of bed and do your work somewhere else. And I mean, I have an office set up. I don't always go. I don't always go to my office setup, but I like staying in bed. I think it's a challenge though, because I'm not used to not having a schedule. So I'm used
Right.
to, getting up and going to this place at this time, getting dressed at this time, blah blah blah. And now I don't have that type of that structure anymore. So I definitely think it's a little bit challenging, especially for people all across media.
Absolutely. So can you tell us what your normal day is like? What is it that you actually do for your position, and kind of go through the steps with us? What is the life of a producer for those
So
who don't know?
so right now, I produce a lifestyle show that airs every other week. So lucky for me, it's not an everyday show, and I'm so happy about that because I don't know how I could do it. Producing a show that airs every other week it's difficult in its own. So my everyday thing, I have to book guests, I have to confirm guests, I have to research, I have to write scripts, I have to um, prepare visuals. I have a lot. There's a lot to do. It's a lot. So that's what I do on a daily basis. It depends. As I get closer to the show date, um, things start to go into overdrive. So, like, say our show airs on Friday, so every other Friday. On Thursday, it's like today. I shoot tomorrow, so today was hectic. Today was
Mm-hmm.
hectic. Yeah.
What was so hectic about today?
So I have to prepare everything. I have to finalize everything. I have to make sure that all of my guests are accounted for, that there are times, because now that we have to do Zoom interviews for everything. We have to make sure the times are correct and make sure that nobody's schedule overlaps with somebody. I had somebody actually cancel today. It's a lot. And I get that a lot. Oh, it happens. I get that a lot. People cancel last minute a lot. So I have to, work with that and take whatever life throws at me at that time.
Yeah, that's so true. How much of, let's say, your background in the industry, your schooling, your education, I know that you went to Dell State and I've been, putting that out everywhere. How much of that, I guess, traditional knowledge was able to prepare you for the position that you have? And how much of it was just kind of like learning, on the scenes and in the industry?
A lot. A lot of it was learning like while I was hands-on in the industry. I
Okay.
think going to school gives you like the basics. You this is how you write a script. This is how you set up a camera. This is how you do. But literally everything else, it comes with the territory. So you're never going to be 100% prepared when you go into a job, or when you always have to learn about how they do things, or how to write something the way they want something written, how to set up the camera because they have a different camera, how to do a TriCaster, how to it's a bunch of things that I had to learn on my own, and I'm glad I did that. At school was great though. I learned a lot in school, but I don't think I learned. Um, I don't think I would have gotten where I am now just based off of the knowledge that I got at Dell State. But Dell State did teach me a lot. I'm not going to take that away from them. They did teach me a lot, but
For
I
sure.
definitely got far here. Yeah.
And you had your first platform there with your first pop culture show.
Yeah. So I was a co-producer for a show called we had to Venus versus Mars, and it was cool. It was cool. It wasn't that stressful. Now that I think about it, it was kind of stressful because I had to book guests then too, and booking guests is I think it's one of the biggest challenges when it comes to being in TV or having a show that has guests that come on it. I think that's definitely the hardest part because you have people that drop out, people that are like, oh, last minute, hey, I want to do it. Oh, I don't think I can. And then they'll tell you like 2 days before, oh, actually, yeah, confirm me. In college, it was hard because people are in college. Like, people are trying to be students and, go to parties and hang out with their friends. So they won't do it unless like their friends are doing it, or if there's nothing interfering with their schedule at the time when it comes to going to a party or even studying. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
Dag. I want to obviously that's prepared you, for now because we've seen that you've interviewed some big names,
yeah.
to date, and that's amazing to have on your resume. How much did you think then that you were building your brand for now?
When I graduated college, I did not think that I would be where I am now, like at all in the slightest bit. I when I was in college, I wasn't really focused on what I was going to be when I graduated or anything like that. And I always make this, whenever I speak about anything when it involves college, I always make this same statement that I didn't focus on trying to set myself up for success when I graduated. I was focused on graduating. So when I was in school, I didn't really prepare myself for interviewing Brandy or interviewing Lorenz Tate or things of that. That wasn't even on my radar at the time. I just wanted to graduate. So yeah, I don't know. I think I ended up preparing myself as I went along. Like,
Hmm.
here, I remember my first big event. I was, I had, so my very first really big event was a film festival in Broadway, New Jersey. And they told me that there was a celebrity that's going to be like the keynote speaker that day. I really forget who it was. And I just had to tell myself right then and there, like, okay, you got to get yourself together. You're about to interview a celebrity. So it's okay. It's all right. You just interview them the same way you interview, a regular person. You ask them about the things that are in their life, things that's going on in their lives, and things that you think viewers would want to see.
So it was just natural. This was
Yeah.
just, you were born
I'm
for
a,
it.
I'm a talkative person. I'm a very inquisitive person as well. So I think it's, I was like, hey, I would just ask questions that I want to know. And I guess everybody else wants to know it too.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for students that are graduating, class of 2020, or supposed to be graduating, but they're currently quarantined?
Mm-hmm.
What can they do to get their names out there at this time, or what is even the state of the industry for them? What does that look like?
I think right now is one of the best times for people, for creatives, for people in media. I think it's one
Hmm.
of the best times because we have everything literally at our fingertips. Everybody's accepting so much content right now. So I definitely say that for people who are graduating, do what you have to do on your own. Like, create a setup. I created a studio setup for myself because I'm not in my studio in New York. I'm at home in New Jersey. So I had to create a studio setup for myself, and I think that's what everybody else should do, and create content that they think other people want to see. Like, even if it's just doing the headlines of the week, set up, get your little ring light. Everybody can
Yeah.
purchase a little ring light. Talk about, what Trump said today. Talk
Yeah.
about what happened, or if you want to do like hip hop stuff, you talk about what happened with I don't know, some of these celebrities. It's easy to create content, and right now everybody's taking so much content. The demand is high for content right now, and this is literally the best time for content creators. Is if you have an idea in your head, if you've always had this idea to, maybe I think I want to do this podcast, or maybe I think I want to like to start a little show for myself. You have nothing better to do right now. Like,
Right.
literally nothing. You might be working from home, which is fine. Turn your camera off, put it on loud, and create the content on your own. It's as simple
Hmm.
and as easy as that. Get up and create. And it's as easy as that. That's what I have to say to the graduates right now. I know things look really hard. I know it looks like there may not be a future for media, but this literally is the future for media right now. I do think that a lot of companies are going to start doing a lot of virtual things now. I see these virtual summits that are coming up, virtual conferences and things like that. And I really think that a lot of event production companies are going to start doing virtual summits now, because it's been
Hmm.
so easy to ask a celebrity to come do this panel, and you don't even have to leave your house. Like, I
Yeah.
definitely
Cuts
think this
out
is the
budget. Cuts,
yes,
now I don't have to pay for that flight. I don't have to
yep.
fly that celebrity in.
I
This
could just
makes
put a
sense.
tie. I don't even have to wear pants to this conference. That's great. I think that event curators are definitely going to start doing things like that at home. So even people that are in public, that are studying public relations, this is for them too. You guys can start realizing how to create events virtually. So
Hmm.
that's my advice for the class of 2020. Congratulations.
You're so sweet. That was a great tip. But now that you're speaking on content, I really respect your brand because you want to control and change the narrative. And I'm all about African American women specifically who want to do it for the culture. So, how important is that, especially as you aspire to open up your own production company, that you are telling those stories, and making sure that, people like us are seen?
So my production company that I want to eventually have, I want to be content for Black women by Black women, and I think that there aren't many safe spaces for Black women in this world right now, especially in media. And I definitely feel like, there's some, you know. I said this early in another interview that I did. There's, Refinery 29 has Unbothered, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's a great spot for Black women to convene. However, it's under Refinery 29, which is a predominantly white brand. Yes, it's
Yeah.
women, which is great. I love that. I love that. I'm a womanist, but that's a sub feature of a feminist. So yes, Refinery 29 has Unbothered. Huffington Post has Black Voices.
Right.
ESPN has the Undefeated. So these are all white companies that have black subcultures, and that's cool. You know, there's a little space for us only because a white person said, yeah, you know, it's cool. I'll let y'all
Yeah.
do it. It's okay. I want to be able to create something by a black woman for black women, hired black women, and these black women create content for these women. That's relatable. I don't think that there's a lot for us right now. I think, you know, there's a lot for women. There's a movement for women, but I think that we have the power to create a narrative about ourselves that other people don't see, or other people just refuse to see. And you know, it's important to me that we have safe spaces for black women, because there's not many.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately you're gonna get your critics. You know, we get that at Women for the Culture. Why do you guys have to have something separate? Why is it for women of
I've
color,
had it
you know,
already.
only?
When I tell people my dreams, they're like, oh well, why do you? There's a bunch of like I've spoken to, you know, older white businessmen, and you know, I tell them, you know, this is what I want to do. Oh, maybe you shouldn't limit yourself to just black women. No, this is what I want to do, because this is who I want to talk to. It's important to me. And this was my biggest thing when I really stepped into media. You know, people had to, when you get into your jobs or your career, you always have to feel around and say, like, I don't really, you know, you got to test each water. What do I really want to do in this career? And I realized that my want, my goal, my desire is to be able to tell the stories of people that don't have the voice to tell it themselves. So I think that it's important for me to make sure to these white men, or, you know, not even just white, just anybody who's criticizing the fact that I want to create something for black women, that it's important. It's important that this demographic has somebody to talk to, somebody that they relate to, have something that they can read every day or that they can watch every day that they relate to, because there's not much out there that that we're like, oh yeah, that's me. Yeah, I feel that, because I go through that every. There's not much of that out there.
Absolutely. When you were growing up, do you remember any figures, you know, that you saw in media or in journalism, like, ooh, I can be that or I can be her? Do you remember having any of those faces to look up to?
So there's a few, actually. So my biggest inspiration is Ryan Seacrest. And I say that because he's a mogul, honestly. A lot of people sleep on him, so wake up. Ryan Seacrest, people just think he's, you know, American Idol host, and, you know, he does the live of Regis and Kelly, Kelly and Ryan or whatever. No, he has so much more. He has his own radio show. He is the producer for all the Kardashian shows and their spinoffs. He's the owner of the Ball Drop, and like the show for the Ball Drop in New York, for New
Mhm.
Year's Eve. And he has so much to him. And he started
Mhm.
off, like, originally he started off in radio, and then he built his empire as he went on. He has Ryan Seacrest Productions. So that's why I call myself the black female Ryan Seacrest, because I want my own production company as well, but
Mhm.
it'll be for black females. So there's that. When I was growing up, though, another big, you know, reason I decided to get into media was 106 in Park. I
Mhm.
think this is like a lot of media people's like goal is to be Roxy or to be AJ, you know, AJ and Free. You know, it's that was where this started from. I saw them on TV. I saw them with the celebrities. I saw them with a crowd that loved them. I actually went to 106 in Park, a taping, maybe when I was like 14,
Mhm.
and I was with, that was Roxy and Terrence, and I had the best time of my life. The crowd was great. The hosts just seemed to have so much fun with us, and that's what I wanted. I love that. TRL was a big factor to me, but, you know, my black people, I really felt it with my black people. So
Yeah.
those are my biggest inspirations: Ryan Seacrest, and then all the hosts that I've seen on 106 in Park.
That's amazing. And I didn't even really think of that, but that was really like a big moment for the culture. I was too young for those Teen Summit days, and I don't know if you even know what Teen Summit is back on BET. So I know what it is, but I was kind of too young to get with it. So 106 in Park, like as you said, was kind of that major platform where I really saw, African Americans and young people that we could relate to, really kind of doing it. And providing that platform so we could see people like us on TV.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think BET overall was a game changer for the culture and for people that are my age. Because I think a lot of us, I'm really connected with a lot of people in media right now that is trying to, hustle their way to the top like I am. And like across the board, everybody's like, yeah, 106 in Park. Like if you talk to anybody, they'll definitely tell you 106 in Park was a big factor in their lives. So that's a big thing. BET overall is a big inspiration as well because they created a culture for us. They created something for us.
Yeah.
Again, it was under Viacom, which is a white person, but either regardless, BET was a big culture. When it really became something big, BET was a big culture reset for us.
Yeah, you got to educate because a lot of people may not know who's really, backing and behind,
Yeah,
the parent
Viacom. Well,
company.
now it's Viacom CBS. They're together, and that is Viacom held the strings for a lot of things, and then now CBS merged with Viacom, and now it's all spread out, all by people not of color. But yeah.
Do you have any type of advice for people who are building their own platforms, who may, be struggling or want to take the next step or may not know how to land celebrity interviews, for instance, or how to gain that credibility, not to almost separate themselves from just being, a blog to being, a serious news correspondent or channel. Do you have any advice for those type of people?
So when it comes to trying to get to grow your credibility, I think it's very important that you always make yourself known in big situations. So for one, join a group. I'm a part of Black Women in Media. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and that has helped me grow and get opportunities. You won't be able to do anything if you don't have opportunities, if you're not exposed to opportunities. So I definitely say join a group for one, and then after that, after you join the group and you get the opportunities, apply for everything. Like if there's an event, go to it. Even if it's the smallest little event, go to it and get your name out there. You should always have your face shown wherever you are. Go to everything that you possibly can. Even though, me, it's hard. I live in New Jersey. I can't always go to New York. But when I have the opportunity to if there's 3 events in one day and I'm already going to be in New York, boom, I'm going to 3 events because I need my name. I need my face shown. I need them to recognize me. Even if I don't introduce myself, they'll see me at another event and they'll be like, oh, she was at, oh, let me go talk to her. Or I'm like, oh, I saw them. Let me go talk to them. It's important to get your name out there, to network as much as possible. When it comes to creating content and preparing yourself to talk to celebrities or interview celebrities or going to events and things like that, you have to, again, keep applying for these things. I have a list on my phone's right here. I have a list on my phone of different events that even I didn't go to because I saw everybody else at, and I'm like, all right, let me write this down. BET Hip Hop Awards, May, boom. And then so next year, once March, April comes around, I search BET Hip Hop Awards press credentials in April or March because I know it's in May. So I always, I jot it down what event there is, when it is, when should I apply for press credentials, because that's, you just got to stay on top of it. That's pretty much it. Just grind, stay on top of it. Make sure the biggest thing I say is definitely joining a group or something that has those opportunities at your leisure. Like they're right at your hands, at your fingertips.
Now, you mentioned press credentials. Some people may not know what press credentials are. How do you build yourself or your book or your media kit to be impressive enough to be able to present yourself for press credentials? Do you have any advice for that?
So you got to start small unless, you have an in somewhere. But I say, it's just me, I say that people should start with smaller outlets. you know, people that, if you know somebody that's starting a blog or starting or just recently started a I don't know, an outlet or anything like that, ask them, hey, my name is so and so, I'm an aspiring correspondent, can I be a correspondent for you? And then they'll say yes or no, and then that's when you can take that, and now you have a name, you have a brand under your name. So when you go to apply for different things, they're just not like, oh, this is Jane Doe with nobody. She just wants to come on the carpet. It's not that. What? You can't do that. If it's Jane Doe with apples and lemons outlet,
Yep.
oh, okay, so this is a real outlet. They cover things. All right, cool. I'll accept your press credentials and you can come on this day, whatever the case may be. I definitely say, you know, go out there and make yourself known. If you don't want to go that route of going to another outlet, I definitely say that you have to start something on your own then. Create an outlet on your own or create a blog. So say that you create a blog situation or YouTube and you have a little logo, create a name for it, you have a little logo for it, and you literally just do interviews. At least you have like a company that you can apply under. And then you have examples. Go to your town's racetrack. You know, whenever they have track and field meets or whatever, interview those people. Go to, you know, there might be a town, whatever. Like, that's where you can start to get things on your reel, is to go to different events, even if it's just small events, and getting footage, because that's the most important. You need to have a reel in order to get your name out there, in order for people to see what you do, how you do it, and in what capacity you do it.
That's a great tip. Now, you mentioned Black girls in media,
Yes.
and I see that Social Push Club has joined us. So I want you to kind of tell about all these different hats that you wear and how are you able to master it all?
I do wear a lot of hats. So let's start with Social Push Club. I graduated college, and a few months after I graduated, I saw a lot of people from my town on the show. Somebody from my town, uh, you know, put together himself. His name was Alan Brown, and he's the founder of Social Push Club. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, I'm Zayna. I do this, that, and the third. I graduated doing this, that, and the third. I want to come help y'all out. And at the time, Alan just brought me on board, and he kind of like took me under his wing. At that time, we've been together since, so that was 2017. It's 2020. He's like my big brother now. And we've worked together to create so much after that. So at the time, that show that I saw was called Social Scene Series, and it was season 1. When I came in, we discussed doing a season 2, and I was able to give him so much. Him and I together grew Social Scene into something bigger. So if you guys want to check it out. It's a web series. Go on YouTube, Social Push Club, Social Scene Series. We just dropped season 2, so you guys check out some of those episodes. I was the associate producer, so I helped with. I was there for everything. You know, we're small, so I literally I helped. He did a lot of the stuff, and I did a lot of the other stuff. So that was that, and I still work with them now. We're on rollout time, so we're just rolling everything out right now. So I guess it's a little bit easier for me now. But so now I'm Black Girls in Media. Black Girls in Media, I joined, and I reached out to them. Like I said, I reached out to them and said, hey, I want to be a correspondent. And they're like, yeah, cool. You know, if you have an event, let us know. And I was like, all right, cool. So then I found different events in New York, and I covered them for Black Girls in Media. And since then, I've grown this relationship with them. And so for those who don't know, Black Girls in Media is a platform for Black women that, you know, are aspiring whatever in media. So it's across the board. It's PR, it's music, entertainment. It's just all of it in media. And we have like a group me where it's like 1,000 members, and we throw in ideas, throw in events. It's a great network. And so I've done a lot of events with them. We actually have an event coming up. I can't really talk about it yet, but we have an event coming up, and I'm really excited for that too. So yeah, and then I also have a radio show called Tea Time with Zayna the Brand on All Jersey Radio. And I like that show because that's where it's me. Like, I don't have to, I'm not censored or I'm not, I don't have a network telling me, oh, this is what you have to talk about. This is the, no, I literally, it's just, I talk my ish, I do what
Mhm.
I want. I say what I want. And I don't have to worry about someone saying, oh, no, we're not going to do that because it doesn't work for our brand, or this is
Mhm.
because it's not our demographic. No, I could just do what I want. So it's a radio show. We're on a hiatus right now, but it's when we come back, it's every Friday morning, and it's on alljerseyradio.com. Oh, and I work for Bold. See, this is a lot. I work for Bold TV
Mhm.
as well. As we mentioned in the beginning, I'm a producer and a host for Bold Life, which is a talk show on Bold TV.
Do you have any tips for women who, may not know how to juggle it all, but they want to do the same. They see people like you and they wonder, how can I do that? How can I, be a mom and still be in this social group and then still have my friends and meet them for happy hour, but then still have time for my family and for my man? How can I manage it all?
It's not easy. It's not easy. I can definitely tell you that it's not easy. You have to be able to balance everything as well as you can. Prioritize things. That's the most important. Be able to prioritize things. At the time, back then when I first started, I had a boyfriend who was long distance, which was easier. It was much easier. It was much easier because I didn't have to see him. It was easy. So I was able to I didn't have that problem back then. Now it's easier because I have a different boyfriend now, and him and we live together, so it's a little bit easier because I see him at night. I see him every day, so it's easy too.
Right.
But it's less of a distraction. Dating though, when you're like trying to feel things out, whatever, it's hard. It's hard to balance everything. You just gotta prioritize it all because your family is always first. Well, you're first.
Hmm.
You are first. Family comes up to that, and